night, but saying at a certain point in the league's existence, I'm going to need for Kelsey Mitchell to get the same whistle as each other stars. The way she gets assaulted is insane, actually. And I've considered roping my sister in it to have office first charges. Now, this is when Caitlin Clark chimed in. Caitlin Clark said, careful, you're going to get fined. Then Sydney Colson said,
yo, the WNBA drama with the refs, it's hitting a new level. Caitlin Clark and Sydney Colson are not holding back, calling out what feels like serious bias. They're seeing double standards out there, and it's getting wild. Let's dig into how all this blew up and why it's got everyone talking about what's really going on behind the scene.
Who paying you, ref? Who you betting on? And mind you, there was some problems going on with the shot clock throughout the game. But man, there is no way. Right at the end of the game, you should be on top of it. You telling me you're not paying attention to when some hands touch that ball? Come on, man. And then to reward them with the timeout, like, fam, that's crazy work. Look, Caitlin Clark, like, what is going on here? She's like, no. Look, Caitlin ready to run the floor, fam. She's like.
So the Fever just barely beat the Sparks, 76-75 back on August 29th. Should have been a huge celebration, right? But instead, things got spicy again. Sydney Colson, out all season with that torn ACL, was watching from home. And what she saw on screen, man, it just lit her up.
There is one referee. We definitely have to check for betting slips for this guy right here. I think his name is like Agun Agazi, because it sure seemed like he did not want to let the Fever take away this win, making the last 1.9 seconds last almost 5 minutes. He was just like letting them call a reset timeout, and then he was like, no, it's a foul. But I think the worst part about that 1.9 seconds was when 0.4 seconds was left on the clock, and Kelsey Mitchell was at the free throw line. She was trying to miss on purpose because that takes time off of the clock, because if she would have made it in, they would have been able to inbound and possibly do a tip in. But this guy allowed a reset timeout. When do you allow a reset timeout with 0.4 seconds?
Listen, in the second quarter, Kelsey Mitchell was driving hard to the hoop. And Kelsey Plum, she just grabbed and yanked Mitchell, clearly trying to stop the play. Bruh, that contact was so blatant. Like, even fans in the cheap seats could see it from miles away.
Oh, there's Leah. You gave them every chance to win. If you look at this in slow motion, you can see Caitlin Clark clearly smiling in confusion, smiling in, did that really just happen? Smiling in, you Sly W. And she says, she points at the other team, you gave them every chance to win. Oh, goodness gracious. Caitlin Clark, she's chomping at the bits to start talking to these referees during the game, during free throws, after the game.
But somehow, for real, the refs just let it go. It was like they were watching a whole different game out there. Mitchell still somehow put it in for the layup, but man, the damage was done. The Fever bench just absolutely erupted in frustration, and that's when things really heated up.
That's what everybody saw in that game. Like, it didn't really matter what was going on. We all knew what was happening. We all knew what was happening there. And the game was being given. The game was absolutely being given to the Sparks. They were giving the Sparks every single chance possible to go and win that game. Even though realistically, did they deserve to win that game? Hell no. Hell no. They did not.
Then you got Caitlin Clark, even injured and on the bench. She just couldn't keep quiet. She jumped up, screaming at the refs, call it, call it. And her teammate Lexi Hull, she was so mad, she stood up to protest too. Boom. Immediate technical foul on Hull from the officials. Think about that for a second. Hull gets teed up for being upset about a clear no call, but the player who actually committed the foul, she just keeps on playing like nothing even happened. Why?
Please tell me y'all saw Caitlin Clark, the GOAT, Y'all saw Caitlin Clark crash out on the bald head ref last night. Please tell me y'all saw this. And she had Caitlin Clark spazzed on the referee last night. And I'm not mad about it. I see a lot of the haters talking about, oh, she be doing too much with the man. Mind your business. You are not in a GOAT's place, so stay out of a GOAT's business, okay? It's that simple. The officiating was awful last night. I don't know what was going on in that Los Angeles Sparks Indiana Fever game, but the officiating was flat out.
But here's the thing, it gets absolutely wild. Sydney Colson still watching this whole circus from her living room. She just had enough. So she hit social media and dropped a tweet that perfectly summed up what everyone was thinking. She said, at a certain point in the league's existence, I'll need Kelsey Mitchell to get the same whistle as other stars. The way she gets assaulted is insane, actually, and I've been roping my sister in to have her office pursue charges. Yo, this wasn't just some random complaint. Colson was dead serious about what she saw as targeting of the Fever players. That tweet? It went viral faster than a Clark three-pointer, and that's when Caitlin Clark jumped into the conversation herself.
But Kelsey Mitchell's whistle last night was horrific. And Kelsey drove to the basket a lot. She is the type of person that just like goes through a lot of defenders, and she wasn't getting a call. This really was not her game. She was not hitting it from the three whatsoever, but everyone is entitled to having a bad game here and there, and I think she was kind of due for one because of the tear that she's been on lately. Even Sid Colson took to Twitter to talk about it, saying, at a certain point in the league's existence, I'm gonna need Kelsey Mitchell to get the same whistle as other stars. The way she gets assaulted is insane, actually, and I've considered roping my sister in to have her pursue.
Clark's response. Short, sweet, and pure sarcasm. She just said, careful, you're gonna get fined. 5 words that perfectly nail everything wrong with how the WNBA handles players speaking out. It was a clear jab at the league, because Clark knew what she was talking about. Her teammate Sophie Cunningham has been the WNBA's punching bag for daring to question the refs. Cunningham got fined not once, not twice, but 3 separate times for criticizing officials. They hit her with a $500 fine for a TikTok video where she basically called refs stupid and useless. Then another $1,500 fine for stuff she said on her podcast about inconsistent calls.
Said, careful, you're going to get fined. Then Sydney Colson said, I can't get no more fine. So Lynn Dunn stated, agree, I will help pay the fine. So that's what Lynn Dunn stated yesterday about the fines. And Caitlin Clark said, love it. Everyone listen to Lynn. So it's definitely a lot of exchange going back and forth there. That's crazy, Eric.
But wait, it gets even better. Cunningham got slapped with a 3rd fine. This one for questioning why rookie sensation Paige Beckers was getting all the preferential treatment from officials. She said, those refs were giving her every freaking whistle last night, like you couldn't touch her. That expletive is so annoying to me, and if you're gonna do that, then give it to our guards. For just stating the obvious truth about what looked like referee bias, the WNBA hit her wallet again. Man, think about the message the league is sending. They're basically telling players, shut up, take whatever we give you, or we'll fine you into oblivion. It feels like a protection racket, not a professional sports league. Colson totally got this. Her response to Clark's warning, just as telling, I can't get no more fine. Translation, she's already been financially punished for speaking up, and she's hit her limit.
Like, I love Paige to death. Do not get me wrong. I think, like, again, I think she's a hell of a player and, like, would love to play with her one day. But those refs were giving her every freaking whistle last night. Like, you literally couldn't touch her. Couldn't touch her. And that shit is so annoying to me. Like, and if you're going to do that, then give it to our guards. Like, I just hate the inconsistency.
Like, when whistles are player focused, that's like, I mean, I think that's a huge problem. But then again, like, I don't know what sport that doesn't exist. But she's a rookie. She shouldn't get whistles as a rookie.
Facts.
Is that fair to say?
We know, yes, or we know she's a good rookie and, like, she's gonna get some whistles, but, like, to get the treatment she got last night was...
Now here's what makes this whole thing even more infuriating. The numbers don't lie about what looks like systematic targeting in the WNBA. Remember Caitlin Clark? She took 17% of all the flagrant fouls in the league this season. 17%. That's no accident. That's something else entirely, disguised as competitive basketball. And it's not just Clark getting that raw deal. Kelsey Mitchell, just like Colson said, she gets absolutely bodied on a regular basis with no calls for her opponents. In that Sparks game, Mitchell only got 2 free throw trips, even though she was driving aggressively all night long. You compare that to the star treatment other players get, and the double standard, it's crystal clear. The WNBA's response to criticism has been to fine players into silence, instead of actually fixing the problem. They care more about protecting the refs' feelings than making sure the game is fair. When Sophie Cunningham even admitted, "If I was a ref, I know I would mess up all the time. But when it is a simple call right in front of your face multiple times, what are you doing?" The league just hit her wallet. They didn't fix the officiating.
More people are talking about the refs than that. More people are talking about Caitlin Clark's reaction than that. And that just sums up how bad the refereeing is that we have seen an unbelievable game. We have seen an unbelievable game. A game where you're like, okay, maybe, just maybe, the Fever not even just maybe, the Fever put themselves in a great position. They've put themselves in a great position to succeed. But now you're looking and you're like, what do people remember from this game? Caitlin Clark having to be restrained by...
This isn't just about a few missed calls in one game, man. This is about a pattern, what looks like bias that's seriously threatening the integrity of the whole league. Coach Stephanie White for the Fever, she's been sounding the alarm for months, calling the officiating egregious and pointing out a clear double standard. And guess what? She got fined for her comments too. So apparently, telling the truth is now a punishable offense in the WNBA. What's wild is how obvious this favoritism has become. You literally see it in games. Refs applying totally different standards to identical situations. A foul for one team is a no call for another. Hard screens that get called on Indiana suddenly become legal plays for other team. And the technical foul disparity? Don't even get me started. Clark gets yelled at for showing emotion after obvious no calls, while opposing players can commit actual flagrant fouls and get nothing. It's seriously like watching 2 completely different rule books being used in the same game.
Right here, okay? It was this dude right here. And from what I've seen, the man has been a part of controversial calls all year. He's been a part of it all year, man. Oh my goodness. What was his name? Jack, what you say? Agan Abazi. Agan Abazi, man. This man is diabolical work to the WNBA. He's betting. Somebody get the shame bell. Ding, ding, shame. Ding, ding, shame. Ding, ding. Come on, man.
Look, the league's tactic of financial intimidation. It's especially messed up when you think about player salaries. Sophie Cunningham, she's making like $90,000 this season, and she's already been fined over $2,000 for speaking her mind. That's a huge chunk of her money, basically punishing her for calling out bad performance in her own job. But here's the wild part, the beautiful irony of it all. The WNBA's heavy-handed approach is totally backfiring. Instead of silencing criticism, they've created a Streisand effect where every fine just generates more attention and support for the players. Fever fans are literally offering to pay Colson's potential fines, and even former team execs like Lynn Dunn are publicly backing the players, not the league office. The timing couldn't be worse for the WNBA. They're seeing unprecedented growth, mostly thanks to Caitlin Clark's incredible rookie season, and instead of protecting their biggest stars, they're letting them get roughed up while punishing anyone who points it out. It's like having the goose that lays golden eggs and deciding to shoot it because it's making too much noise.
Hey, Ganabazi, how much money you got on that game? You took the Sparks to win, huh? Didn't you? You took the Sparks to win, huh? Didn't you? It's okay. It's okay. Maybe next time. Maybe next time you'll get the benefit of the doubt. The referees are bad, Bo. The referees are absolutely horrendous in this game. There's no other way to call it for what it is. The referees are abysmal. And you can't help but wonder, is there foul play going on here? Is there foul play going on? Yeah, that's just one example, but we can go game by game and just
What's wild about Coulson's tweet is she isn't even playing right now. She's sidelined with a torn ACL watching from home, and she still can't stomach how her teammates are being treated. That shows you the kind of courage that exposes how messed up the officiating situation truly is. Clark's quick warning to Coulson about possible fines, that just proves how normalized this financial intimidation has become. Players now have to weigh every public comment against getting hit with a fine. It's created an atmosphere where real, honest criticism gets treated like insubordination. And the really infuriating part, the WNBA could easily fix this. They could get better training for officials, build in accountability, and stop treating valid criticism as personal attacks. Instead, they've picked the path of financial bullying and blaming the victims. Meanwhile, the games just keep getting marred by inconsistent officiating. It makes you seriously wonder if some refs are watching the same sport as the rest of us. Clear fouls go uncalled, phantom calls get made at crucial moments, and the star players who should be protected just get targeted with impunity.
Be a lawyer. Sid Coulson is someone that everyone used to call the face of the league because she gets along with everybody. So when she's taking to Twitter to complain about something, it must be bad. Because usually she's just really funny, kind of cracking jokes here and there. And although this was pretty funny, there was a tone of seriousness, like calling out the referees, because the way that the Indiana Fever has been officiated, I think she finally understands from being on the team. And I'm telling you, this team sticks together. Her whistle was so bad last night that Lexi Hull even got a tech for it. And we are talking about Lexi Hull. Has not had a tech yet this.
Bruh, the broader pattern here. It's unmistakable. The WNBA has basically created a system where some players get preferential treatment, while others, especially those on teams like Indiana, they're held to totally different standards. It's not even about skill or following the rules anymore. It feels like it's about maintaining whatever narrative the league office prefers. And now, with Clark and Coulson refusing to stay quiet, that system is getting exposed for what it really is, a game influenced more by referee bias than by actual basketball talent. The league's moved to fine anyone who points this out. That just proves how desperate they are to keep up this illusion that everything is fair and balanced. When players are willing to risk thousands in fines just to speak out, man, you know the system is fundamentally broken.
Sparks got every single call imaginable, and it was just noticeable, to the point you got Caitlin Clark running on the floor ready to crash out on a ref in the middle of the game, to the point where it's obvious. It's like the fix was in. The fix was completely in. So the WNBA needs to do something about this. Kathy Engelberg, you need to get a hold of what's going on here. The officiating Kelsey Mitchell getting knocked around like a damn pinball.
So here we are. The WNBA's biggest stars are calling out the league's most obvious problem. In the league office, they're responding with financial threats, not actual fixes. It's a perfect example of what feels wrong with how this whole league is run. Players like Clark and Coulson, they deserve so much credit for having the courage to say exactly what everyone else is thinking. The big question now is whether the WNBA will actually listen to its players and fans, or will they just keep going down this road of financial intimidation and pretending not to see it? Honestly, based on their track record, I wouldn't expect any real change anytime soon. But at least now, thanks to players like Caitlin Clark and Sydney Coulson, the whole world can see exactly what's really happening.